She sat alone in her wheelchair, the soft melody of wedding bells echoing faintly from the church across the street. Her trembling hands clutched the wilted bouquet she had made herself, her eyes fixed on the door that would never open for her. Minutes passed, but he didn't come. The man who had promised her forever, the man who swore he'd love her no matter what, had left her a message instead. I can't do this. You deserve better. And just like that, her world shattered into silence. The guests whispered. Some pitied her. Others smirked, muttering that this was bound to happen. A paralyzed bride, who would want that? Her tears fell quietly, not because she lost him, but because for the first time, she felt like she wasn't enough to be loved at all. But none of them knew that among those watching from afar stood a man, a single father, whose life was about to change as deeply as hers. The rain began that evening, heavy and merciless, as she rolled her wheelchair through the empty streets. The wedding dress soaked through, clinging to her body like the weight of her shame. She didn't even know where she was going. Only that home wasn't one anymore. Her parents had died years ago, and her fiancé had been her only family. Now, she had no one. She stopped at the old park, where she and her fiancé once dreamed of building a small cafe together. She stared at the bench, at the puddles reflecting her broken reflection. Maybe this is where I end too, she whispered, closing her eyes against the sound of thunder. But fate had other plans. Hey, are you okay? A voice called out. A man ran toward her, holding a small umbrella. His daughter, maybe 5 or 6, trailed behind him, clutching a pink backpack. The woman tried to wipe her tears, embarrassed. I'm fine. Please go. But he crouched in front of her, his eyes kind and firm. No, you're not fine. His daughter peeked from behind him and said softly, Daddy, she's crying. The man turned back to the woman. My name's Daniel. And this little one is Emily. We live nearby. Come on. Let's get you dry before you catch a fever. She wanted to refuse, but her body was cold and weak. So she nodded, and for the first time that day, someone didn't look at her with pity, but with genuine concern. In Daniel's small but warm home, she sat near the heater, wrapped in a soft blanket. Emily brought her hot cocoa and smiled shyly. What's your name? The little girl asked. Lily, she said softly. Lily, Emily repeated, grinning. That's pretty. Like a flower. Daniel smiled faintly at his daughter's innocence, then turned to Lily. I'm sorry if I'm intruding, but you were outside in a wedding dress. Did something happen? She hesitated, but his tone wasn't probing. It was gentle, safe. He left, she whispered. At the altar. He said he couldn't spend his life pushing a wheelchair. Daniel's jaw tightened. He looked away for a second before saying quietly, Then he didn't deserve you. Lily blinked, surprised. No one had ever said that before. Over the next few days, she stayed in his guest room. She had nowhere else to go, and Daniel, though a stranger, treated her with more kindness than anyone had in years. Emily adored her, always insisting Lily read bedtime stories or braid her hair, and somewhere between laughter and long silences, Lily began to heal. Daniel, too, was healing. He'd lost his wife in an accident years ago, raising Emily alone ever since. But he never let pain harden him. Watching Lily struggle to smile reminded him of himself, of what it meant to lose everything, yet still wake up each day. Weeks turned into months. Lily found work online designing greeting cards from her laptop. Daniel built a small ramp at his cafe, the one he'd opened after his wife's death, and insisted Lily visit. When she finally did, he introduced her proudly. Everyone, this is Lily. She's the artist behind our new logo, and the kindest person you'll ever meet. Lily felt something stir inside her. For the first time since her accident, she didn't feel like a burden. She felt seen. Their friendship deepened, but Daniel never crossed a line. He was respectful, always patient, always present. Yet every time he looked at her, his eyes carried something unspoken, something she was too afraid to name. One afternoon, Emily came home from school holding a drawing.
Look, Daddy.
This is our family, me, you, and Lily. Daniel froze. Lily blushed, unsure how to react. Emily frowned. Don't you like it? Daniel knelt beside her. I love it, sweetheart. Then, softly, but Lily might not want that. Lily looked at them, heart pounding. No, Emily, I do. I really do. Daniel's eyes met hers, soft, uncertain, yet filled with something real. Lily, she smiled through tears. You didn't just help me walk again, Daniel. You taught me to live. Months later, Daniel surprised her with a new wheelchair, sleek, light, and customized. On the backrest, engraved in small letters, were the words, My Lily. She looked at him, trembling. Why would you do this? He stepped closer. Because I love you, and I don't care if you can't walk. I only care that you never stop moving forward. The tears streamed down her face as Emily ran to hug her legs. Now you'll be my mommy, right? Lily looked at Daniel. He smiled softly. If you'll have us. Their wedding was small. Just a few friends, a few neighbors, and one little girl beaming brighter than the sun. When the priest asked if Daniel took Lily as his wife, his voice didn't shake. I do, he said firmly. I choose her. Not for what she can or can't do, but for who she is. And when it was Lily's turn, she whispered, voice breaking, and I choose you because you saw me when the world turned away. As they kissed, Emily clapped and shouted, finally. Years later, Lily sat by the same park bench where she'd once cried, now watching Emily run with her friends. Daniel sat beside her, holding her hand. You know, she said softly, if you hadn't left me that day, I'd have never found you. Daniel smiled. Sometimes, God breaks us to rebuild us stronger, with the right people. She leaned against his shoulder, whispering, and sometimes, he lets us fall so that someone beautiful will choose to catch us. The camera zooms out, showing the wheelchair, the park, and the small family sitting beneath the sunset. And the narrator's voice closes softly. She wasn't the bride who couldn't walk. She became the woman who taught others how to stand tall again. Because love, real love, doesn't see limits. It sees souls.